on the video. Now the audio is recording. All right, We're ready, and it starts in 3, 2, 1.
You're right to dance in such a fashion, because I'll show you how to make videos that will make you rich. Woohoo! And me richer.
And me richest.
What are you doing here?
I get an alert whenever anyone's getting rich.
If you take after your father, it can only mean you're stupid.
I'm bleeding to death. Humor me. This is the morning stream.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to TMS. It is Thursday, April 30th, 2020. I'm Scott Johnson. He's Brian Ibbett. Hi, morning, Brian. How are you?
Hi, morning, Scott.
Yeah.
The morning, Scott.
You're my morning Brian, because I have other Brians, and so I have to keep the Brians,
So, Brian Dunaway is your afternoon Brian.
Yep. Sometimes weekend Brian.
Night and evening Brian.
I guess you're both my weekend Brians, so that doesn't really work.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, we're back to Bibby then. It's going to be Bibby from now on.
Just got to use Bibby from now on. That's a permanent change.
Yep, that's the rule.
Everybody. Yeah.
Anyway, it's good to be here. Thank you for being here. Last day of the month. We hope your April was as dumb as ours.
We know your April was as dumb as ours.
Yeah, April was
dumb. The whole
dumb.
world's April was as dumb as ours.
April was pretty dumb, but here's hoping May is less dumb, and
for sure.
We'll do our best to be a part of that. Today is, though, my daughter's birthday, Carter.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, 23 years old enough to not quite get insurance on a car, or no, not quite rent a car, but old enough to do whatever else you can do when you're 23. And she's killing it, and I'm really proud of her. And also, she's going a little stir crazy. And today, after the show, is she on here? She's not on here, is she? Is she in the chat today? I hope not.
Doesn't appear to be, because
I don't want to blow the surprise. Don't say anything if she comes on, you guys. But
no, she's not. I just typed MISS tab, and it did not auto-complete.
All right, nice. I'm going to go. Kim and I are gonna, after the show today, everything's sewn up and posted. We're gonna drive over there and do a curbside birthday delivery of some things.
Drive-by fruiting?
Yeah, drive-by fruiting, and probably sit on that curb and have lunch 10 feet apart. So,
aw, how nice.
We got to do something like that. So we're going to do that today, and I'm excited because she's great.
How do you know that curb has been sanitized, Scott?
Exactly. And don't tell her this either, okay? You guys are all in my confidence here, okay? So don't blab this to her online or anywhere else.
A lot of people.
Right, I agree, but I'm going to trust them this one time. Her sister, Taylor, is set up, cleared out one of her Animal Crossing rooms, just gutted it, and has redecorated the whole thing in giant birthday stuff. So there's a cake in the middle. There's like decorations on the side. There's all this. And tonight, she's going to invite Carter over to her town. And then she's going to go to her town and be surprised because when she goes into the house, I want you to see what I did to the room in my house. You're going to go in the house and going to walk in and have a virtual,
Totally Carterized.
Yeah. So that's kind of cool. And
speaking of Animal Crossing, by the way, just a little quick reminder for folks, last day of the month. So this is the month to put as many bells as you've got, all your bells, into the bank, because interest is calculated overnight tonight.
Right.
So it's the only day that you really want to load up your bank, and then because tomorrow you'll wake up with 0.05% more bells.
Oh, I was going to ask, is that the new percentage?
Capped off at 9,999 bells, I think.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it's still a lot. I mean, hey,
I just paid off the house thing, so I probably only have like 200,000 bells or something. So it's not going to be great, but it'll be okay. Hey, free money, whatever, free bells.
Yeah.
Also,
I got my second level, so I'm waiting to pay him so I can get my basement.
Right. That's where I'm at. I have the upstairs, and I don't have the basement yet. And that's all there is, right? The basement, and then you got your house. You're done.
I think so. Right? Is that? And then you're never beholden to Tom Nook again.
Yeah. Well, not in the house way. Maybe there are other ways that we don't know about yet. But
probably yes, exactly.
But we're gonna pay. Let's see. I'm trying to think.
Would you like me to send some ladies over to your house this afternoon? How about some ladies? Some company? Would you like some company?
By the way, that upper floor is huge. It's enormous.
It is. Yeah.
Right now, I don't know what to do with it.
That's my podcasting and music studio is upstairs.
I want to do something cool up there, but I don't know what yet. But anyway, the next jump is what, like 2.8 million or whatever this stupid amount is. So we got to do that. But Yeah. Also, there's fish and bugs leaving tonight.
Right. Yeah. Today's your last day for tarantulas till the fall or whatever. Then it switches over to scorpions. Yeah.
Yeah. I cannot wait for scorpions because they rock me
they
like a
rock
hurricane.
you like a hurricane.
Yeah, exactly. So that'll be a thing. And then so just know that if you haven't caught the stuff you need for your museum, you may want to go on a binge tonight and get all that done before tomorrow. There's your daily information about Animal
I don't
Crossing.
need that much work. We're better than Isabel, though. At least we're telling you this stuff. Isabel said nothing about it.
No, she just gets up and goes, "Good morning, it's such and such date. Nothing really going on today, but I did watch TV last night. Boy, that comedian was funny. Anyway, get out there and do your thing." She's like,
exactly right. She should be saying, "Make sure you dump all your bells into the savings account tonight."
Yeah, she's a bad comptroller or whatever it is her job is.
Yes.
Yeah. She needs to
Julie Cruise director is what she is.
She needs to lay off the morning Bloody Marys
The morning
and focus.
hooch, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Focus on your job, Isabel. Get it, Bell, because her last name's Bell.
Or,
so Bells. Yeah.
Or have a picture of those Bloody Marys that I can partake in when I come visit.
There you have it. Drinking.
Oh, I'd love it. Wouldn't it be great if you had like drinking in Animal Crossing and stuff got all warped and fuzzy like it does in WoW when you have the brew of the month?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. That'd go over real well for an E for everyone rated game.
We might have to change its rating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although that art dealer is a little shyster and is doing stuff that's like straight up like unethical and illegal. So if we can have that little aspect in there.
Well, he doesn't know. He gets it from his vendor who
he knows.
Claims it's real. You think he knows?
I think he knows. He's shady, man, that guy.
Does he just show up once a week? Is that his deal?
I think he's weekly, yeah. Same as the plant dude. The little I don't even know what that creature is. Like a little monkey, tree monkey?
He's a lemur. I think he's a lemur.
Lemur, okay. I kind of like the look of him.
Got the Robin
Yeah, those are cool. I want a real live one of those that doesn't poo. Mm-hmm. Then I want one. Give me any, you know what? I'll take any monkey, chimpanzee, ape of any kind. I will have it in my house if it doesn't poo.
He's a sloth. Okay.
Oh, he's a sloth. Okay.
He's a sloth. Yeah, that makes sense.
He's a very colorful sloth, though.
He is.
He's got the colors.
He moves a lot. Well, I guess he doesn't move. He just sits there in your town square and hangs out.
He must have taken all night to set up that shop before he got there because he's slow. Hey, we got a quick correction here from a listener talking about J.K. Rowling. Is it Rowling or Rowling? Rowling?
Rowling. J.K. Rowling.
Yep.
Because the joke is, how does Harry Potter get around? I don't know. Walking. J.K. Rowling.
You're rolling. Oh, I thought it was a different thing. I thought it was a different joke. It was the J.K.
It
part's
might be.
right. Wait, hold on. How do you say? Oh no, you say how do you say her last name? Oh yeah, this is how I've heard it. Say how do you say her last name? Rowling, J.K. Rowling, or something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah, that's probably good too.
Anyway, yes, K.K. Slider's sister, J.K. Rowling. She says this.
Yeah.
This is from Stuart Happy Haggis Headley. Sent this in.
Happy Haggis Headley.
Yep, he's from the UK and says this to me. I hate people that correct people, but, and then he goes on to correct me. He says, "Hey there, Albanach." Scott and Irish Gaelic. That's my name in Irish Gaelic.
It's more like he says it's more of a CH sound, not like cheese, but more like a throaty, angry cat hiss noise. Albanach.
Oh, Albanach. Albanach. Get your arse out of the cellar. You've been drinking all our beer. Albanach. Anyway, he says this. And Brian, that's Brian in Gaelic, by the way.
Yeah, you love that.
Yeah.
It's pronounced Brian.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Brian.
Very much.
He says, I've been listening back to old TMS episodes, and there is an impression that you, Scott, didn't bother me the first couple of times. I thought someone else may have brought this up to your attention, but alas, no joy. This said impression was unleashed again in further episodes, so I have taken it upon myself to bring this issue to your attention. When you do your impression of J.K. Rowling, you put on a plumpy conservative English accent. She is, in fact, Scottish. A plumpy conservative sounding Scot.
Plummy, not plumpy.
What did I say? Plumpy?
You're
You're
plumpy.
right. Plummy. Sorry.
Plummy.
Well, what does plummy mean? How many you can either take plummies or leave plummies?
Take no plummies.
Never heard of that before, but all right. What is it? What does it mean?
Upper class British.
Okay.
Plummy.
Plummy.
Plummy, yes.
All right. I thought that was always
Right.
posh. Is it
Quite,
posh? I
yes.
thought they say posh, not posh. Like
They
posh?
do say posh too.
Okay.
So quite posh, yes.
Yes, posh spice,
quite
yes. Anyway, it says, hope you take this that as jape and not criticism.
Jape, yes, quite jape. Yes.
Jape is very upper class thing to say.
Yeah.
He says, remember, always eat your soap with a spoon. Soup, sorry. My eyes are bad today. Always eat your soup with a spoon and do your homework in the dark. Name that movie it comes from. Can we do that? Do you know the movie?
I don't know the movie. Eat your soup with a spoon and do your homework in the dark. It's like one of those, like some sort of comedian hipster says that right before he closes a broadcast or something. Or
Yeah. It says it's a movie, though. Let's think here.
Good Morning Vietnam? No, it's like he's talking about rebelling against society. What is it?
Well, he wrote it in here, but I didn't look yet. So now I'm going to look. See if the
did he?
chat knows.
Yeah,
Chat know? Anybody you guys know?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I looked.
All right. Now I'll look. Okay. It's Pump Up the Volume. I never saw it. So
Really?
yeah. Yeah, I never saw it.
Oh, wow. It's like the pre-podcasting podcaster.
Mm-hmm. He's a pirate radio guy, right?
Which explains why he's Happy Haggis Headley, because it was the character in the movie was Happy Harry Hard-On. So
okay, gotcha.
yeah,
And
you do need to see that. Actually, as far as Christian Slater movies go, it's one of the good ones.
it's a Tarantino written joint, right? He wrote it? I thought he wrote it. No?
Had nothing to do with that.
What am I thinking of? Tarantino wrote a movie.
He wrote Natural Born Killers.
Yeah, I think he wrote this, though.
He wrote True Romance. I don't think he wrote Pump Up the Volume because it is
Hold on.
it is so very not
What am I thinking of?
Tarantino-ish. I don't know.
Okay, it says here.
Screenplay by Alan Moyle.
Writer.
Alan Moyle.
What am I thinking of?
I don't know.
Oh, True Romance, the other one with him in it. The other movie with.
Did I not say that?
No,
I thought I said that after I said Natural Born Killers.
Oh, I thought you said Natural Born Killers, and I didn't hear the other one. Red light on the. Well, all right.
On air light, yeah.
I don't know why I thought that. All right, well, maybe I'll see the Pump Up the Romance.
You should see it. It has nothing to do with drug dealers and people getting shot and killed. It has to do with a guy who starts a podcast in his basement before people had podcasts in their basement.
They were called pirate radio then, right?
That's right, exactly.
Yeah. He broadcasted like a mile away from your house, and that's as good
And
as
the
you could
only
do.
album I own is Everybody Knows by Leonard Cohen, so I'm just going to keep playing it over and over again.
Great, perfect.
Greetings and salutations. This is my Jack Nicholson impersonation that I'll use for the first 8 movies of my career.
Yeah, pretty much. Isn't he? He's like a shock jock in this kind of, right?
He's a
He's
a tell it like it is high school pirate radio guy.
Okay. Oh, he's high school.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's high school.
Okay. All right. I have conflated. You know what the other movie I mix up with these two is? I always think that. What's the Idaho one?
My Own Private Idaho?
I think so. I think I mix that in with these other 2 movies all the time, and now there's just a 3-movie combo that is not correct, no matter which way I look at it.
Yeah. I've never seen My Own Private Idaho, but I believe that takes a totally different turn as far as the characters in there.
Yeah,
like,
it
it's
might.
not a.
Never saw that either, but for me, those are all the same 3 movies, and I don't know why. I lumped them together.
all
It's
right.
like an early 90s thing. That third movie, or the Idaho movie, is Keanu Reeves and Brad Pitt, maybe? Or something like that?
No, it's the guy who was in Private, what's his face, in Full Metal Jacket. Not Private, but not Butterball, but
the other
the
one.
guy who goes crazy. Vincent D'Onofrio.
Vincent
and,
D'Onofrio. Right.
Keanu. Or River Phoenix.
Oh,
Or
River
Keanu Reeves
Phoenix.
and River Phoenix. Maybe I'm confusing now. Isn't there a... Isn't Vincent D'Onofrio in there as well, or am I thinking of something else?
I don't know now. See, this is the 3. This trinity of films has messed with me.
Yeah, apparently so.
Pumbaa. That's what's going on.
Well, now you can not watch Pump Up the Volume after you don't watch Parasite.
Yeah, that's true. I need to get. Why don't I just watch that? Maybe tonight.
Why don't you just watch that?
I might watch it tonight. I don't
There
know.
you go.
It's been busy. All right. Hey, look at this. We got to get our good pal in here. Hold on.
Okay.
Her name's Gidget, and I have her coming in hot. Here we go. Although she shows us offline, which
Oh, I was supposed to give her a heads up. Heads up.
Yeah, here comes that heads up.
Feeling Minnesota is the one with Keanu Reeves and Vincent D'Onofrio.
Oh,
so, completely different state.
Yeah, so the Idaho and Minnesota thing is where you got confused. See, this is great.
That's where I was doing my merge.
I like this kind of stuff. All right, I'm gonna play this now.
Trivial thing.
Hey, look who it is. It's old. I almost said it's old Gidget. That's not what I meant to say. It's Gidget, who is our age, roughly, a little younger, and
it's youthful Gidget.
It's youthful
Hi.
Gidget. She's here to join us and hang out and give us some trivia today. Gidget, hi, welcome. How are you?
Hi. Everything's working. We've worked out a system now.
Yeah.
So he's in the other room doing everything remote.
Oh, good.
Wow, so he's like a producer. Can you like push a button on your console that says, could I get some more levels in my monitor, please?
Yeah,
And,
can you
know,
do that?
and then-
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
exactly. So,
Nice.
first of all, happy birthday to your daughter.
Oh,
Scott.
thank you. It's very sweet of you to say.
Massive happy birthday. So she's 23. So the driving age in America is what?
16.
But the drinking age is 21?
No, 16 for driving. Maybe
That's just
some
in Utah. 18 here in Colorado now.
Oh, really? When did that change?
Yeah.
Oh.
I thought that was everywhere. 16 was always that's when I got my license, was when I was 16, but
Yeah, I did
Anyway.
too, but they changed it in Colorado, I believe, to 18.
did not know
Oh,
that.
no, full license 17. Sorry, 17 Colorado.
Okay. Interesting.
What about drinking?
21.
Drinking's still 21. Yeah,
I think that's across the board, right? That's
I
everything.
think that's across the board.
That
I
might
think
be
it
a-
might be-
You've got to love Australia, because Australia, to get your full driver's license and to start drinking, is exactly the same age.
Oh, my Lord.
So that's really good timing to start driving and being able to drink alcohol.
Why did they do that? That seems crazy to me, that they were like, hey, you know what we ought to
I
do?
know.
Let's coincide when someone gets behind a wheel and they can go and binge themselves on
Yeah.
beer.
Yeah, full license for Utah, by the way, is also 17.
Oh, it is?
Restricted license 16. Learner's permit 15.
When did that happen?
Oh,
In
the world is
Alaska.
changing.
Yeah.
In Iowa, Kansas, and Alaska, you can get your learner's permit at 14, and that feels too young.
Yeah. Indiana
North
as well.
Dakota 14, South Dakota 14.
Yeah, Indiana I think is also 14.
You can legally smoke pot where you are, right, Brian?
Where Brian is, yeah.
I can. Not everybody
Yeah,
can.
and Vegas, I think.
Yeah, Vegas
Not
you
that I've
can.
researched this.
Yes. Yeah, we've
California.
got a few states that have it, that have recreational legalized, but that's also not across the country either.
Oh, not even close, yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
the
It's
drinking
not.
age,
It's
by
not
the
even
way,
within.
is-
It's not even within Cooey here in Australia.
yeah.
Like it's not. It's not even close. No states. I mean, Australia's sort of run as one country rather than individual states.
Yeah.
Each state have sort of got a little bit of their own thing, but it's mostly regarding laws. One country, but obviously I was there for TMS Vegas last year,
Yeah.
and I spoke to a girl at the bar that had been working there for ages. She lived in Vegas, and she actually said, because they've legalized it, which freaked me out, she said there's actually been less cases of problems regarding pot, because it's kind of
Yeah.
taken the excitement out of
The
it.
stigma,
It's not
right,
illegal
the taboo,
anymore.
Right,
Yeah.
the taboo being gone, right?
Yeah.
Forbidden pleasures.
Don't you guys just smoke the flesh of a dying kangaroo or something weird down there, right? You
That's
don't
right,
even
yes.
don't even bother with the weed.
Look,
The wallaby
if you're a
dung.
cocaine dealer,
We fill our pipes with wallaby dung and Vegemite.
if you're a drug dealer, especially like cocaine and stuff, if you can get it into Australia, you'll make more money than you can any other country in the world.
Wow.
Because it's super. I've heard it's super expensive here,
Yeah.
like more than anywhere else in the world. And can I say, I loved Cats, the movie.
Oh, did you?
Okay.
Okay, but you liked it because if you liked it
No,
at all,
it's
it's because
complete load of shit.
it's probably
It was-
terrible is why you liked it if you liked it at all.
No,
Right,
I
right.
didn't.
Like,
I
you
didn't
liked it
like
ironically?
You know what? I didn't like the stage play. I'm not a big Andrew Lloyd Webber fan. I'll tell that straight out of the gate. I think musicals should have quite a number of songs that are very memorable in them, and I find his musicals have one or two at that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the movie was just dreadful, and my partner and I dared each other to get through to the end of it, and both of us tried to leave at one time, and we both lost the bet, so we had to have sex.
Whoa.
So
Wow.
All right, there you have it.
They do wagers differently in Australia than we do here.
They do. We're doing that for Film Sack at some point. I'm committed.
Really? Who am I
yeah.
gonna
Oh my
have
god,
to?
yeah, do it.
Who am I
Do
gonna
it.
have to bugger out of the Film Sack group?
Randy. You and
Oh,
Randy.
you mean we're gonna watch Cats? I
Yeah.
thought we were gonna have a wager where we.
No.
have to have sex.
No. Who am I gonna have to bugger?
Do that too.
I can't
Do
believe
that too.
Brian just said, "Who do I have to bugger?" Oh my lord! All right, hey, let's get to the trivia here. We're gonna have some fun with some film trivia from Gidget. She always brings the pain, so I'm ready to see how we do. I don't know does anyone know what our running total is? Like who's ahead or behind or tied, or do we know? I don't know.
think I might be one game ahead.
Okay, that sounds right.
But
to me.
not if I'm anything, it's just one game ahead.
All right, let's do it then. Today's my day. I'm gonna shine. Gidget,
All right, good. All right, I'm
All right,
hiding
because-
hiding the chat right now.
same.
Okay.
I don't watch the chat.
Yep.
Hi, Tadpool, by the way. Hi.
Hi.
By the way, Carter's in the tadpole now.
I see that. I hope she just
I
got
love all
here.
the guys in the Tadpool. They're awesome.
How long have you been there, Carter?
Yeah, I hope you just got here because I said things earlier that I don't want her to know about. Anyway. All right, go ahead. Lay it on us.
Okay, so I've gone rogue.
Okay.
I've gone rogue. I haven't stuck to the 80s. Basically, this is just a general movie quiz over all the periods. Okay.
Okay.
So, all right. So, who wants to go first?
Since Brian's ahead, I'll go first.
Cool. Fair enough.
Let's do that.
Big mistake, Scott. All right.
I love that already.
Great.
All right, good.
Great.
All right. What three films make up what is known as the Three Flavours Cornetto Trilogy?
Oh, I know this.
Mm-hmm. You do.
Do I?
Yeah, you do.
I tested all these on Colonel and he didn't get this. So,
Oh, really? Okay.
yeah.
I want to live with someone.
I always
named
screw up.
Colonel.
I screw up the name of the third movie, but I for sure have the first two locked down.
Okay, there's so many trilogies of movies by different directors, and I don't want to screw this up. It's not Tarantino stuff. Cornetto.
There's three iconic movies made from this British director.
Oh, I know what it is. Okay.
Did
There
the
you
Three
go.
Flavors of Cornetto trilogy.
British was the giveaway there.
Yeah. So you got your.
I'm gonna help you both.
You got your Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels.
Yeah, you should say that. You should say all those, Scott. Yeah,
Yeah.
keep saying that.
Okay.
Keep going down that road.
Is
Yeah,
that the wrong
good idea.
road? Is that what you're telling me?
I don't know. At what point do you tell him he's wrong and let me have a go?
Well, he's not getting it, so Brian, go for it.
Yes, go.
It's the Simon Pegg.
Oh,
Frost,
shit!
So
Don't
Shaun
name
of the
them.
Dead, Hot Fuzz, and is it called The End of the World? Is the third
Ooh.
one or the
You're
bar?
gonna
at
have to
the
get
end
that
of the-
right. What is
Yeah,
it? What's the third one?
Nobody
The
said.
World's End. The World's End.
Yes. Yes.
I
So
knew
that's
this.
a Brian steal.
I knew this.
Yeah, you did.
I screwed
No, you
that up.
fucking didn't.
I thought for
You
sure
didn't
as soon as
guess
she
it.
said British, you'd get it too.
I
I thought,
knew
oh,
it.
well, there
I
he's
really
got it.
did think. I think I knew it, and it just was not coming to the surface. Anyway.
No,
all right.
it was just in the back fart end of your brain.
That's right.
And,
That's where
and
everything
it wasn't
stays.
coming out. All right, Brian. All right, which
Just what did
What? Something's happening with his
continue
cat.
on?
What?
my bird's in bed.
I'm having my own-
I should actually have my bird out one because it'll repeat anything I say, so it would be quite funny. So next time I'll bring my cockatiel out. Okay. So number 2, Brian.
Yes.
Which Oscar-winning actress is the voice of Helen Parr, Elastigirl, in The Incredibles?
Oh man!
Holly Hunter.
I should have had Brian go first.
Got her
That's so
Oscars
easy.
for
Yeah, that's what I said. But don't worry, I've
supporting
shaken it
actress
up.
for The Firm, and what was her? That was her
She was
supporting
great in
actress.
Broadcast News.
Broadcast
where
News.
she
Was that
cried
her?
all the
Was that her
time.
best actress?
She's a,
Yeah.
No, that was
I think it
piano.
might have
That
been.
was the piano. You guys are all wrong. It was the piano.
Oh, the piano was her best.
the
actress,
piano.
Yes.
Or was it the little New Zealand girl that she won for
That's
best
Anna
supporting
Paquin.
actress as
That-
well? I
Anna
think Anna
Paquin
Paquin
won,
Yeah.
yeah.
Paquin.
Yeah, Sookie. All right.
All right. Come on, Scott. You can take this. All right. Which actor broke 2 toes while filming The Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers?
Wow.
Gosh dang it. Who played Elastigirl to? Who stubbed their toe?
I know.
Have you not watched the making of the Lord of the Rings trilogy?
I mean, I'll just guess and say, I don't know, but probably Viggo Mortensen. He's the most active dude
Correct.
in there. Oh, really?
Correct.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
No
he
idea.
was kicking a helmet and there was a rock underneath it and he broke 2 of his toes. But they kept it in the movie, so if you rewatch the movie, you can see him actually cry out in pain.
I wish
really?
I wish it was Frodo so that Sam could go. Or no, I wish it was Sam. No, Frodo so he could go, Sam. Anyway, took a long time to get there. All right, go
I
ahead.
didn't mean to kick that helmet,
got
Mr.
there.
Frodo. I didn't mean to.
I didn't mean to. I don't mean to.
You got there.
All right.
All right. So, Brian,
Yes.
name the 3 movies in which Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks have starred together.
All right. So we got Joe versus the Volcano, Sleepless in Seattle, and You've Got Mail.
Oh, this is too easy for you.
Yeah,
yes,
what?
Brian.
Every other one is easy. This is how this is today. Oh my
Don't
gosh.
panic. You've got an easy one next if you like The Matrix.
Okay, I do like the
Which
Matrix.
which actor had a headache during the filming of The Matrix?
All right, tell me your next one. Let's see what you got.
All right, Scuttaloodles.
Yeah.
All right, number 5 is which color pill does Neo swallow in The Matrix?
I got
Oh.
a 50-50 shot.
Yeah, now I just got to remember it.
This is one I always get wrong, so
You think that's how you're breathing?
I guess if he gets it wrong and I get to steal, it's a pretty much a lock.
It's a done deal. Yeah,
Don't miss this, Scott.
Pretty sure it's the red pill because
correct.
the blue pill made you
is it?
forget.
See, I would have said blue pill if I had the
Same.
first crack at
Well,
that.
the reason I remember that at all is, to me, I remember at the time thinking, oh yeah, red is like serious and harsh and like let's go.
The serious
Reality,
okay.
yeah. Where blue
All
is
right.
like chill and like forget about it, don't worry about it kind of thing. So
Yeah, I'd still take the blue pill.
is someone keeping track, by the way?
And for all the tadpole and the people watching that are worried that I'm drinking wine in the morning, I'm not because I'm in Australia.
Yeah.
So it's like 1:36.
Yeah. She drinks wine in the morning, just not this morning.
No, I only drink vodka in the morning.
Vodka.
Well,
Yeah, vodka.
You and Isabel.
Who doesn't?
Let me just make sure I'm not looking at the chat, so I don't know. Can someone in there make sure you're keeping score? Someone usually does. TV's Travis or somebody does. So I just hope somebody is. Anyway, all right.
Yeah, this. Oh, Gidget is obviously coked up. I wish.
Oh,
I wish.
God, man.
no, Jeannie can be so harsh.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I don't know
Wow.
who said that.
I don't know who said it.
I'm fine.
I said that because I did. That's a thing that Jeannie never would say.
Yeah.
I'm fine. Yep, right. Okay.
All right.
All right, so Brian,
Yes.
number 6, which husband and wife duo starred in the 2018 horror film A Quiet Place?
Oh, jeez.
It's Emily Blunt and John Krasinski.
Boo.
Correct.
Boo.
Mr. Some Good News himself.
What, you didn't like it or it was too
It's
easy?
good. It's
Too
just,
easy.
it's just
He's
easy.
complaining it's too easy.
It's easy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
All right.
would have had it,
Okay.
is what I'm saying. And I'm not
Yeah.
saying it's too easy.
All right, well, you were the one
Scott's
that's
got a
meant to
little
pick
bit of a
first, so-
crush on Emily Blunt.
I do like Emily
Oh.
Blunt. I like her
Yeah,
chin.
she's hot.
Yeah, she's great.
I've got a
for
girl
chin.
crush on Emily Blunt too.
Yeah. It's hard
Yeah,
not
if
to.
she knocked on my door, I'd be like, Scott, out.
She's also a real charmer and super sweet, and she's my jam for sure. I
Oh,
like her.
she's lovely.
Yeah.
All right. So this is Scott.
Scott.
Yeah, that's me.
All right. For which film did Sandra Bullock win her Oscar?
Oh, The Blind Side.
Correct.
Yeah.
There you go. See?
Yeah.
It's all
The
right.
one where she All About Steve, I believe, is the answer.
Have you guys seen that?
No.
No, I hear it's
Oh,
horrendous.
so bad. It's so
Yeah,
bad.
Yeah.
It's so bad. And there's good actors in it too. And it's so
know.
bad. But at least she went and got her Razzie.
Is Bradley Cooper in there too,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Mhm.
Oof.
I don't
Yeah,
know what
shit.
that is. Why do I not? I don't know what that. I don't
She's
think
like
I've
a
heard of it.
stalker who's chasing after this newscaster named
Yeah.
Steve, right?
It's awful. It's just awful. And it was the same year as The Blind Side. She like Halle Berry, she won the Oscar and got the Razzie.
In the same year.
So-
Oh wow.
What was
Yeah,
there was
same.
another bad one she did with Ben Affleck where they were in a plane crash or in a
I like that movie.
bounce. Was that Bounce?
No. Chat room, you can tell me. What was the one with Sandra Bullock and Ben Affleck, and they had to travel cross country, and he was meant to be getting married to another woman, and she had a kid. Come on, guys.
The
Justice
Sure
League.
Thing.
Justice League.
No.
Argo.
It was a thunderstorm, and the plane
Lord
went
of the
down.
Rings, The Two Towers.
Argo. Not Argo. Gilly.
No, it's
Gilly.
not. Forces of nature. Thank you, Rainbow Bright.
Okay.
Forces of nature. That's it. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, well done.
Nice.
Well done.
Nice.
Anyway.
Okay, so Brian.
Yes.
All right, who replaced Richard Harris as Dumbledore in the Harry Potter films?
Gambone.
Damn it!
First name?
Do you know his first name?
Michael.
Ah!
Yes.
I was gonna try and say Percy.
Percy
I was gonna make up something.
Gambone.
Well, stalled the thing.
Jesus.
Michael Gambone.
Jesus Gambon. He replaced him.
And he'd never read or seen another Harry Potter thing before he did that, right? Is that the
No.
trivia
That's
on
the
that?
talk
Yeah.
on him, yeah. I like him a lot.
Correct.
He's great on
Yeah, but it's
Open.
fine. Yeah.
So people should watch Open Range. He's a great villain in Open Range. It's very good on there.
I love Open Range.
Yeah, Open Range is an
I
amazing
think
movie.
that's a better Western than a couple of other well-known Westerns around that era.
Oh
I
yeah,
love Open
no,
Range.
it's an incredible film. It's maybe my favorite Costner directed movie. I loved it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I loved it.
Okay, we'll do that movie and have me on. All right. Okay, so Scott, number 9, the name of the composer behind the soundtracks of The Lion King and Inception.
Oh, The Lion King.
Mm-hmm.
The newer Lion King or the original?
The original.
Really? Okay.
Okay, and then Inception, you said?
Inception and If It Helps, Gladiator.
Oh, okay. Well, that does, but I didn't know he had anything to do with Lion King. So that's Hans Zimmer.
That is correct.
Did he?
Yeah,
What did
didn't
he
know
do
he
for
had anything to do
Lion
with
King?
Lion
Yeah,
King.
I had no
I
idea.
thought that was. Why did I think that was Alan Menken, or did he just do the stage version?
I don't know. This is news to me.
Alan Menken, Elton John.
I found that question online.
Oh.
I cheated on that one, so I found that one online. So I'm just like, yep, okay, I'll go with it.
All right, there you have it.
All right, all right, but correct me in the chat room if I'm wrong. All right, so number 10, Brian. What is the name of Nemo's dad in the Pixar film Finding Nemo?
Oh,
crap. Yeah.
I know it.
The voice is. All right, hold on. His name, dad's name. Nemo's dad's name in Finding Nemo.
I know this. I just watched it. It's kind of not fair.
Did you? Yeah.
Well, I shouldn't say just. It was when the boy was over a month and a half ago. Whatever.
Oof.
I know this.
It's Albert Brooks is the voice.
Mm-hmm.
Dory is Ellen DeGeneres.
This is another one that my partner didn't get.
Yeah, this
Sorry.
is. I'm gonna. I really cannot remember. I'm gonna throw
Throw
out.
to Scott.
Yeah.
Come on, Scott.
Yeah, throw to Scott. Throw to Scott.
Come on.
Marlon.
Correct.
Right.
Scott steals.
Yeah, it feels good to steal. I like to
He
steal.
steals. All right, so
That
hang
might
on.
have tied things up actually, because
All right.
I stole one from him and he stole one from me.
Yeah, we might
That's
be
what
tied.
I'm thinking. Oh, so Tadpool, are we tied?
I think we're tied.
Yep.
I think we
game.
tied. I do have a tiebreaker.
Oh, good.
Okay.
All right.
Let's hear it.
All right, who gets in first? So it's open to both
All
of
right.
you.
So it's a speed issue. Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's a speed issue.
Okay.
Okay, sorry, don't mean to be bouncing up and down. All right, where does Chuck Noland, Tom Hanks, or who does Chuck Noland, Tom Hanks work for in the film Castaway?
FedEx.
Oh, I thought
Correct.
we had to make a sound to come in. Sorry. I knew it was FedEx too.
Yes, you make the sound.
You were on the
FedEx.
ding, and Brian was on the answer.
Yeah, we didn't really clear that up. I knew it was FedEx.
You just make the sound FedEx.
Yeah.
That's the sound you're supposed to make.
Oops, my bad. All right, go ahead. Do that. Do another one.
Why?
I know. I'm saying
Another one?
no.
Oh,
I just
what
mean.
another one.
Oh.
You said do 10 questions.
Oh,
did 10
that's
questions
all
and a
10. I'm
tiebreaker.
sorry. I was thinking you had like a.
Yeah, you're all strict and shit.
No, I thought you had like a. I thought you were doing like a set of these for the
Oh, a
lightning
tiebreaker
round.
set.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
I thought it was. Okay, no big deal. Brian wins. Brian wins. That puts him
Brian
up 2.
wins.
That's 2. He we had the chance. I went and he went FedEx. Well done, Scott. Brilliant.
I don't have a thing I could do this. I guess I don't have a.
Yeah, but even if you did, I did a thing that was not approved previous to me doing it.
Right, exactly.
Brian, you should have just grabbed your cat and by the scruff of the neck and just shoved it near the microphone to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, hey, we don't do the cat. Not after that person in wherever they were got fired from their job for throwing a cat on a Zoom meeting.
Yeah, the California councilman guy. Yeah, I threw
councilman guy.
Oh
yeah.
my god!
He tossed his cat and they fired him for it. So there you go.
Oh my god, there's some messed up people.
Yeah, they exist.
Zoom just brings out the worst of people.
It really does.
It really does.
It really
does. Well, that's it, guys.
All right, tell us
Thanks,
about your show, where people can get it, all that stuff.
Okay, I'm a co-host of the Retro Cinema podcast. We podcast 80s movies we loved back then and we still love now. And it's family friendly, so it's good to listen to. And we just released our top 10 80s happiest endings in movies.
Ooh. All right, don't tell us.
I'm not meaning this happiest ending. I'm meaning happy ending.
Oh,
I usually have to pay extra for the happy ending, so this will be great that we can get it for free.
Yeah,
on
don't we
your show.
all?
yeah. It's in the end, we kind of all do, Brian. Well done.
16 candles
Thanks,
on your
guys.
list.
Is it, 16 candles on your
we've
list.
done it.
Oh, you've
No,
done
no,
it.
I mean, is it on the list of top 10 happiest endings?
No, I didn't have it on. No, because it was a bit sultry. I went with really like explosively fun or revenge endings, like the end of Trading Places, where the baddies get their comeuppance and everyone all the good guys end up on an island having a great time. So that was my thinking for that.
Okay, all
I
right,
need
it's
to
good.
watch
It's
that.
valid. It's valid. Yeah.
All right, be good. Say hi to the Colonel for us and his 7
I will indeed. Thanks, guys.
herbs and spices. All right.
Let me crave it fortnightly.
Why
Jackass.
did she
Except
call
it's
him?
not Jackass.
Have we ever called her why or asked her why she calls him the Colonel? Is there a reason?
Well, it's her recording partner that's the Colonel.
Okay. I thought it was the dude living with her. I thought it was Scott was the Colonel. No?
Colonel Clickhead, I think, is the co-host, and then Scott is her home partner.
I thought it was the same person. I don't know why I thought that.
And now I'm confused. I think the Colonel is. TV's Travis says no. Scott is the Colonel. Well, what's her? Yeah, Colonel Clickhead is the co-host.
But she also keeps saying.
Angry Man. That's right. Darth Marcus. Angry Man is her co-host. The Colonel is her life co-host.
Got it. Wait.
Angry Man is what I was thinking of.
Oh, all right. Diced Tomato. We thought.
But I don't know why he's called the Colonel.
We thought Diced Tomato's title was
for another time.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll find out on the last Thursday of April.
Yeah.
Or May, May.
We'll let you know how that goes. All right, check this out.
Say, gang, here's some razzle-dazzle news to flash to Mom.
Time for the news brought to you by...
Do you like crafts?
Nope.
Oh, you do that part.
I'll do the notes.
Do you like games?
No.
Are you a fan of Scott and Brian's oral antics? That's oral with an AU, though oral with an O would be also appropriate, but not in the inappropriate way you're thinking about it.
Nope.
Do you like free things?
Nope.
What? If your answer was nope, like Scott's, then you already know that the answer is nope. Nope is a card matching game featuring Scott and Brian and the whole Frog Pants gang. Nope Frog Pants Edition DIY is free for you during this quarantine, free for your quarantine pleasure. I'll read the actual words that he put on the list.
Yeah.
And it's DIY. So all you need is a printer, check, ink, check, paper, check, scissors, check, and players, as long as they're 6 feet away, sold separately. Offer is available while pandemics last. Content may not be suitable for all ages, mostly because of Tom Merritt. Most suitable for those over age 30 that act like 12-year-olds. That game is Nope, and there's no link here, no thing to tell you where to go get Nope.
Oh, yeah, we should give him Nope.
Is there a URL in here? Nope.
It's for... This was for a member of the community. I don't know if they gave me that part now that you say it. Yeah, they didn't.
I know. I've played Nope. I have I actually have, you and I both have pre-release copies of Nope.
Yeah, I have a copy of that somewhere.
Unrelated Things. If you go to unrelatedthings.net.
Oh, there it is. Yeah,
or Nope Game. That's even better. Nopegame.com.
There you go. Nopegame.com. Check it out.
Nopegame.com, and I see them right there. And oh my gosh, it's mostly Churi that's the cause of the.
It's the cause of everything.
Cause of the problems.
Yeah.
We need to get this actually printed up because I think it's funny.
Yeah, it is funny.
It's a lot of fun to play.
It's good stuff. I like it. All right, here's your news for the day. Quick couple here before Wendy gets in here.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm tattooing myself every day in lockdown, but I'm running out of space. Not me.
I thought this was a
quote.
TMS Confessions.
It's a quote from Chris Woodhead who's trying to find more space to add another tattoo to his already crowded body. This guy lives in northeast London with his dog Pingu at his side.
Good.
Boy, someone should keep an eye on Pingu so he doesn't tattoo the dog's belly or something. That would be bad.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
Anyway, there's very little unmarked skin left from the tip of his fingers to the soles of his feet. Most every inch is covered in a vast jumble of tattoos of different styles. A pair of dice have just fallen before the toes of his right foot, where his right foot begins. A scorpion extends down his inner thigh. Ooh. There's a leaning palm tree, a swordfish arching around a love heart, and a voodoo doll floats above some ripe, glossy cherries.
So basically, it looks like the front room of my Animal Crossing house.
Basically, that sounds right to me. I'm going to actually pull this up, Chad, so you can see it.
I told people on Furt Raid last night, because we were talking about, Nevermore is really working hard on her design. Shoujo has a really good design. I decided my decor is what I just got.
Yeah, what I just got.
That's the decor that I'm going for in my Animal Crossing houses. I just got this.
Yeah, I kind of do that too. I just wore this. Or this just showed up, so I'm wearing it now. Like, that's how I play.
Oh, I just shot this out of a balloon, so I stuck it to the wall. What do you think?
Yep. He says, quote, "I look like a piece of blue cheese. There's very little space left." Is that what blue cheese is? I don't understand. I mean, with all the little bits of blue in the white.
Oh, he's a self-tattoo guy.
Oh, yeah, it's all of that by himself. He's doing it all.
So the only way he's going to find more space is if he involves a second party, I think.
Yeah.
Because there's got to be places he can't get to that have not yet been drawn upon.
The bottom of his foot says, "When will it EMX? When will it end? Sorry.
When will it end?
Yeah, that's an exclamation point. That looked like that probably hurt right there.
Yes.
Yeah, not doing that. Nope. No, sir.
You probably start out writing, "When will this finally come to a close?" And said, "Ow, ow, ow,
Yep.
when will it end?"
When will it end? Shorten that up. He wrote NHS on his chest, which stands for the National Health Service there in
okay.
In the UK. He's got
right above the Starbucks mermaid,
Yeah.
if I reckon it. He's got a Joe Exotic tattoo.
Really? Where? Hold on.
It's right underneath the NHS.
Oh, yeah.
The photo.
Wait, that's Joe Exotic?
Well, it's the tiger, and it says Joe above the tiger and Exotic underneath the tiger.
Oh, I'm seeing the different NHS then, because mine shows a bell above the NHS and a swimming lady below it.
No. In the photo below the NHS.
There it is.
Just scroll down a little bit.
I found it. Yep, there it is.
Yeah.
It's a nice tiger.
I have a
actually.
hard time believing that he's going to like all the things that he's drawn on his body for the whole rest of his life.
I mean,
that he's going to feel the same way about dice, palm trees, scorpions, and dolphins.
I say this about everybody who does the full blown body tattoo business.
Yeah.
I just don't know how it's sustainable over time. Because at some point you're going to be 60 and go, if I have to look at that damn tiger one more time, I'm checking out of here.
I don't know. I think he also it's like when you see artwork, you and I probably can relate to this more than than everybody else. But it's like when you see artwork on a website or on a restaurant menu is probably the most prominent place, where it's clear that they pulled all the clip art from different sources because the line thicknesses are different and the art styles are different.
Yep.
But yet you've got this really well drawn Italian pizza chef here with a cartoon pizza chef over there holding a pizza.
Yeah, it's a weird combo. Also, it kind of goes along with that new thing, Post Malone style, just put shit all over your face for no reason kind of tattooing. Yeah. He's definitely living that life.
Who's the guy? He's got a guy on his leg that's got headphones on. I can't tell. Right above a pair of boobs and an asterisk. It's like it's like Zap Dingbats threw up all over his body.
Oh, that's horrible. By the way, there's a shot on his Instagram where he's done his fingers. The tips, the tips of his fingers. That's horrendous.
Yeah, that seems like it'd be painful as well.
Yeah. Well, I hope he doesn't ink poison himself or something. Isn't there a risk of that with too much stuff? I mean, I don't know. I don't know anything about tattoos.
Yeah, possibly.
Still haven't decided if I'm ever going to get one or not. Did you end up doing one in Vegas? I can't remember. What'd you do?
No, I didn't, but I will. The problem with doing in Vegas is I want to get in the pool, and I can't get in the pool with a tattoo. Right? I can't get in the pool within 30 days of the tattoo. So I've got to get the tattoo here 30 days before I'm planning on going to Vegas.
I gotcha. No, that makes sense.
But tattoo parlors, salons,
close them.
Clothing boutiques have not opened yet. Have not opened in Colorado. to stop the spread of the silent killer.
All right, we're going to take a break on that note. My sister's going to be here in a minute with some psychology, so stick around for Therapy Thursday. Before that, though, we are going to play a special, not really special, just an indie in the middle, and Brian's got one.
Yeah.
So what are we playing?
Special. It's a special song for these special times, Scott. This is a band called Chaos. A band so nice, they are Chaos twice.
Nice.
They have just released 2 brand new singles, courtesy of Clarion Call Media. Thank you, Caroline at Clarion Call. Caroline Clarion Call. That's almost there's got to be an anagram or something in there.
Sure.
They released 2 singles today. One of them is Capital T. The other one, and then that's a really cool instrumental. I'm going with the.
Nothing's gonna change if we don't.
Vims give you all the vitamins government experts say are essential, balanced in the formula doctors endorse. All the minerals commonly lacking, too. Vims cost only a nickel a day in the family size at your druggist. Remember, it's BI for vitamins, double MS for minerals.
Dickinson, Hologic, and Cephahide.
The Morning Stream. What are you gonna do? Charge me with smoking?
Whoops, we're back. Hi, everybody. We're back. I was muted.
Yeah, that was 2.
I'm not muted now.
Because I just scream at the walls when the song goes. I just scream.
Yeah.
Just look at the walls and scream.
Well, many roads, Brian. Many roads.
Once again, Chaos. Brand new single they just released called Many Roads. Handle them.
That's when I was gonna make a bad joke about Ozzy Osbourne changing guitarists because of Randy Rhoads, but forget it.
Oh yeah, there you go. That's good too.
I'm not gonna do it. All right, we're gonna get my sister in. She's gonna talk to us about important stuff. And I think she's already there. Wendy, hi. Hello.
I am. You called early and I was actually ready. That's weird.
That was really weird. You picked right up. I'm not used to that. That was crazy. Hey, it's good to have you on. My sister Wendy, a therapist and a sister, is here.
Also a sister.
Yeah, you are also a sister. Did you see that cool photo I sent you this morning, by the way?
No.
Load of that. Check your text real quick. I want you to see what I sent you.
What did you send me?
Yeah, it's I was going through some.
Oh my gosh, look at Adam's face.
Yeah, I was going through some pictures here, chat room. I let them have a look at it. Some family stuff, and there was a shot of Wendy. It was one of those big family shots where everyone's supposed to make a face. So, to your defense, you were meaning to be.
Thank you for that.
Adam's face is the best because I'm not sure what he was even doing.
He does that. That's his face. So everyone says make a weird face. That's a face he makes sometimes, and he looks at me suddenly, and he'll go, "Would you still love me if I do this?"
Wow.
And I'm like, "No, I won't."
I like it. It makes him look like he needs some help. Someone needs to help him.
He does, and I'm having none of that.
Right place.
I'm having none of that. All right. It's good to hear you and have you here. We're gonna get right into it. So. No particular email today, although it kind of matches up with a whole lot of emails that we get constantly, which is we are getting to the stage during the pandemic where people are getting a little stir crazy, maybe a lot stir crazy.
A lot stir crazy, yeah.
Yeah, there's some situations where families are packed closely together, kids are little, parents are trying to work remotely. That's really hard. Everything from that to just maybe older people who are alone that are super lonely, or a huge range in between, and they also have a fresh new layer of anxiety painted on everything because they're being told that maybe it's okay to start opening things, but then other voices are saying absolutely not, we don't have enough testing, I can't believe how reckless so-and-so's governor's being, and all this stuff, right? So new stage, we're a couple months in. How far are we into this now? I don't even know how long we've been doing this.
I know the day. It was March 12th when we never left again. So
yeah,
it's been
that was about us too. March 9th or 10th or 12th, somewhere in that range. So it's been a big chunk of time. We're about to enter a new month. Things are weird. And so I thought it'd be good for us to talk about this stage, the stir crazy stage, where I can understand somebody who's been socially distancing and doing their best and making sacrifices and all of this stuff to start to go, well, wait a minute. How bad is it? Are they telling us the truth? How do I know it's as bad as they seem? Like those kinds of things. As much as I may disagree with somebody, depending on what they're saying, I understand why they feel that way, because that's what we're dealing with, is these feelings. So where do we do now that we're in this later stage of, is it done yet kind of mode that we're in right now?
Well, I think one way to, there's a couple layers. One is like the personal level of like, just how are you handling who you're around all the time, or that you're alone all the time. There's that, and we'll tackle that, of course. But I think as you just go a little further out into space and time, it's like the city you live in, it's the state, if you're in the United States, or the country that you live in, and just how things, are being handled. And it's let's tackle that just for a second, because I think it's just so culturally interesting, and I just want it to be 10 years from now and all the books that we could read about this.
Yeah, documentaries and books. That's what I'm looking forward to.
It's just fascinating how, like, South Korea, I was just reading an article this morning about how they handled the outbreak, and I just was like, what in the world? Like, they are just on top of it, and they have some research out that is published and ready, peer reviewed already. Like, it's what happened and just different things. Anyway, it's fascinating. So you live in different places with different cultures. And so I'm going to speak to the American culture for a second, which is nobody tells me what to do. That's the American culture. Yeah. And so this is hard on many, many levels. We are not good at being bossed around generally. And there's enough of a sort of political cultural divide that, and at this sort of juncture in history, we all question what's real and not, and true and not. And, there's all sorts of that, which is very difficult to manage people when they are sort of all over the map in regards to this. And so that is really tricky. And then that filters down to our personal experience. Also, our personal experience filters up to how we perceive things going on a bigger scale, right? So, for example, I had the most hilarious experience in Target the other day. Everyone's wearing their masks, or not everyone. I mean, this is now we have we're doing, I think Utah's doing something similar. I don't know what Colorado's doing, but it's this weekend where they are opening up more, but now masks are required.
Yes, right. Yeah, they've switched from here in Colorado, the stay-at-home order to a safer-at-home order for most counties.
Yeah. Okay, so that's same thing.
Yeah, except for the most populous counties are still kind of doing a stay-at-home thing, although.
Right.
Okay, so we had this. So about half the people in the store had on masks, and about the other half did not. And this woman, this is the most Minnesotan mom thing I've ever seen. She had a mask on. And we're known around here for being passive aggressive, by the way. So she has her masks on, and there's a bunch of people I saw just in a row crossing her path that didn't have masks on. Like, it was a critical mass that wasn't anywhere else in the store, but just right in front of her. Yeah. And through her mask, I could hear her say, in just kind of a quiet enough but loud enough passive aggressive voice, she's like, "It's like you have no respect for the governor."
Wow.
It was amazing because it was about the governor specifically, which everyone really likes our governor. So maybe that's that. But it was pretty funny. And I was just like, okay, if that's the worst I have to see today, that's not terrible. But it's everyone's sort of experience crossing paths with strangers and judging and like either thinking you're all being paranoid or you aren't paranoid enough. It's a bit of like that on hyperdrive. And I think that's part of what's the toll that is being taken too, is that we're not quite normal right now. Yeah. Like emotionally speaking or mentally speaking, I would just say this from clients, back a couple weeks ago, it feels like a millennium ago, I said, oh, my clients are doing really well. And even my stressed out, anxious clients or my OCD clients, this is the best week of their lives. They're like, now everyone gets it, Yeah. But there is a corner that has been turned for most people. And that is, it's just too much. Humans are not meant to be this isolated and are sort of not meant collectively to have so much fear and so little power.
It's starting to really go against our nature, isn't it? Like to the point of breaking.
And there's some research on this with catastrophes and previous pandemics and others, where there's like a golden hour. And this is true. If you think of like right after 9/11, there's this golden hour where we are one species
all
and everyone.
And
it was amazing. Yeah. And if you as a political force can capitalize on that sort of good intention, goodwill, bonding, everyone's in the, what can I do? You line up to give blood, you do all the things you do. In fact, sewing masks for other people and, like whatever version of it is this time around, that golden hour is pretty amazing. And if you can capitalize that, humans will do good things. But unfortunately, there's sort of a void of consistency and leadership generally that has made it incredibly confusing. We are not United States of anything at the moment, right? Like everyone's doing their own thing. The federal government's like, whatever, you guys do your thing. It's just ridiculous in my opinion. But it is what it is. So what it lends itself to is the golden hour isn't very golden for very long. And then you move into a little more of the panic, anxiety, problematic state of things, right? Yeah. And who knows? We'll see where this ends up. But this researcher, I was listening to a podcast about this, and she was saying, what 9/11 was this interesting version of like, you could see the strength of the systems in place. And that's what happened. It isn't that the catastrophe creates all new problems. It shows the weakness of the previous, whatever was in place a week before it happened, you're going to see the cracks now, right? Yeah. And I think our healthcare system, the cracks have really shown themselves, and the fact that the very obvious disparities that are happening. The school stuff is very clear. So, I'm in a really good school district, and it is very obvious that I'm in a very good school district. And there are school districts out there who are just canceling school because it's so ineffective for them to pull off what they need to. And these students are disappearing. I mean, there's some school districts where 40% of students have not even checked in since this happened.
Jeez.
Wow.
That seems bad. And so it seems really bad.
I mean, we always talk about the summer, I forget what they call it, the summer slump or whatever, where kids really lose a lot of what they gained through the school year.
Yeah.
Now it's the spring and the summer, and it's going to be rough. And there are ramifications, right? But it's showing, I mean, I'll tell you what, my kid's not skipping a dang beat, and it's the most exhausting thing as a parent to do, but because the school is so on top of it. And that isn't fair, right? And that shows a big crack in how, things are actually working in various places. So anyway, you have all of that going on, and yet I think the most common thing people are describing to me anyway is just they're starting to numb out a little. Kind of the burst of energy and then the numbing out is because you're extending the pain, right? Mm-hmm. It's grieving for someone who dies suddenly or grieving for someone who's slowly dying of cancer for years and years. It's you sort of run out of steam, and our systems aren't really built for that. We tend to be really good in a quick sort of thing and not so great long term.
Yeah.
So your individual psychology is a little bit trickier, and that's maybe what we could focus on a little bit, because you don't have a lot of control of the other things. Maybe exposing yourself to the other things is problematic too, right? Like reading the news constantly and building up experiences and fear and anger.
All right.
So individually, let's talk about you two for a second. This is your bear all, tell all memoir.
Oh, ready? I thought you meant the band, like the band U2. Okay. No, that's fine.
No.
All right.
So your individual psychology, and here's where introverts around the world are like, I'm doing great. So, okay. But maybe not. I don't know. So just the two of you, where do you feel like you're at? There's golden hour a little bit, right?
Oh, for sure.
We can do this. And so what do you think?
I feel like I spent a little more time in the golden hour than some of my not immediate family, but my next to immediate family, who's already kind of tired of this and actually kind of reading some of the other side's opinion of these, but basically politicizing this, which is really frustrating both Tina and I. Mm-hmm. But I go out there and I wear the mask. I do the And it's like, number one, it doesn't take a lot of effort to wear a mask outdoors and have that, respect in case I have it. Who knows? Maybe I got it from the mod pizza guy yesterday.
Sure.
Handing me my pizzas. But go do that. I do the social distancing. I'm fine kind of sticking in the house and ordering out a little bit longer and doing all that. So I feel like I might still be in the golden hour of like, yeah, this is just, or maybe I've just accepted. I've tableaued right from the golden hour into, yeah, this is just it. I get it. We accept it. We move on and we wait for the next thing to change.
Yeah. I think that's us too. I think the biggest struggle for me has been not being able to be around the kids as much. And as much as it's like, hey, we live in a time where everybody can just, FaceTime every night and everyone can hook up. And we do that. But it almost makes it worse because you're like, it's almost just like personal contact. This is almost like holding the baby, but not quite. I still have to just look at him through the thing and watch him walk and all these things that have happened since we've seen him, like that sort of thing. And I think that's when I get the most frustrated and the most down about it, and the most, again, these are just my own personal issues. People in a lot worse situations than me. That's a foregone conclusion. In some ways, I'm very lucky, but also, I was born kind of a homebody, okay by myself, don't need a lot of attention kind of guy. I just am that, which is weird to say. If, podcasters are probably not used to saying that, but that really is me. I am fine. Leave me on my own to my own devices. I'm good. I can play in the sandbox for hours if I was a kid, and today I can play in whatever my sandbox is now, and I don't need this. I don't have this constant feeling of like, gotta have the social thing right now. Gotta have it now. I don't need the hit. But somebody like Kim is really struggling with the lack of the social stuff because she's got social connections and friends that she's always doing stuff with or was. And they're coming up with creative ways to deal with it. They have these 10 feet apart porch parties where they all wear masks, sit across from each other on this huge porch her friends have or her friend has and chat and gossip and hang out. And it's very good for her. It's very cathartic. And she kind of, it's an outlet for her that she really needs right now, because I can definitely sense it from her. She's starting to channel that frustration and that irritation into, we're going to fix the yard, and it's never going to be better than that. It's going to be the perfect yard. I'm like, oh, I'm okay. I'm good. I don't need to, I don't need to go fix the yard just yet. I'm kind of, anyway. So it's funny to watch that difference. But yeah, like I think Brian would agree. There's still the underlying anxiety of it all. Neither of us sleep very well. That is to say, Brian or I. By the way, I heard somebody say if you put blackout curtains in your room, that you'll sleep better.
Oh, game changer.
Yeah.
It's legit.
Yeah, like
Tina
full
uses
blackness.
a mask. She sleeps with a mask on.
I want
eye mask, not a mouth mask.
I want like that dining in the. I want.
I know these days masks means so many different things these days.
That's true, but like imagine our dining in the dark in Vegas thing. I want that level of darkness. That would be.
You can do it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I want. So I'm gonna work on that. But yeah, like it's just
until you see the guy with the night vision goggles come hovering over your bed.
Right, but there has yet to be in any of this a feeling of like, okay, well. Can't go to the bank, can't do this, can't do that. So I guess I'm just going to chill out. There's no chilling out. Like that doesn't exist. I don't know what that even is. Like yesterday, I got a taste of it, I guess, because it was really nice out. It was like 80 degrees, 78, something like that. And the sun was out. We have no pollution right now. It was just beautiful. Birds chirping. And so Kim and I went outside and soaked in some vitamin D and sat on the porch, and it was great. Like that was maybe the closest I've gotten to a serene moment during the entire thing. So there's your answer, Wendy. That's how we're doing.
It's interesting because that I would say the same for me, that it's just beautiful days outside and like sitting, the whole family just playing and like doing nothing. And there are these like moments of, it's like bliss. And I'm like, why have I never experienced this before? Yeah. And it's because there's a million other things to do. And now there's nothing to do besides sit here and, enjoy that it's not raining or something. And anyway, it's fascinating. So and again, we had a whole show on this of just like the silver linings or some of the benefits. And there are some mental health benefits to this. Absolutely. It's tricky though, because it's hard to really have them absorb them, because the overlying reason you're sitting peacefully in your backyard is always there, But I have a question. Why do neither of you make this political, like Brian's extended family? Like, why do you think the way you do about it? That it's
because the coronavirus affects us all, whether we're conservative or liberal, Democrat or Republican, old or young.
Whose voice was that, Brian?
I don't know. It sounded familiar.
I don't know.
Impressive.
There's a little bit of Don Knotts in there for some reason.
Yeah.
But,
Andy. Yeah,
Andy.
a bit of that.
Because it's not political. I mean, it shouldn't be political. Medicine is medicine. Science is science. And politics. Politics, science, and religion should all kind of have their own little playground where they play, and
they surely should. But man, have we found life has found a way to make that virus political.
Yes, it has. Yes.
Yeah. In fact, I was kind of, I don't know, I was some sort of certain in the beginning of this that this would be much more of a uniting experience, and I think I was wrong about that.
You were wrong after the golden hour. Like, there was a moment.
Yeah.
But it was not capitalized upon, and so that I think we didn't have an experience like we might have otherwise.
Yeah, I don't know. It's so many combinations of things. Like, it's impossible for it not to be. Even if you could somehow miraculously make the argument that at top levels of government we had a better response to this thing in our country. Even if you could make that argument and give some semblance of proof of that, it's almost hard for me to say this without laughing. But anyway, let's say that was possible. There's still things to nitpick about and find about and still feel like your tribe did better or whatever. Like, it's impossible to get away from it. And I hate that. That's the part I hate. And the golden hour was too short, Yeah. Like, it was just it was more like a golden 20 minutes.
Right. Yeah.
It's not.
Well, and part of that is
gold.
Yeah, more gold.
Part of that is everybody has a microphone, right? And everyone's own experience. You just take. So, for example, I have a client who has OCD, and if you gave him the microphone, he'd say, "I told you, everybody." Like, if he was the one giving us all consolation, we'd have a very different message than from somebody else who, has studied and researched and gets how things work, and they would say something very different. And it's just the way life is. And now you have literally your great aunt on Facebook telling everyone it's a hoax, and you're like, okay, take the microwave phone away from her. And the microwave, she can't handle either. So it's tricky that way. And so there's a bit of like I guess the tuning into yourself and how are you doing and what are you doing. And that's a question. I think I always bring it back to that. I mean, I feel like if you listen to this show for the whole time, you would hear one darn theme, which is be nice to others. And like, your own personal garbage truck needs to be cleaned, and it affects everything. And some of that is, like, what kind of self-care do you need to do right now that's very specific to you? And so I want to sort of posit this as like a homework, of course, because that's the other thing. I love homework, but this idea that what is it you personally need? So we've done self-care top 10 lists before, where you do one every day and you take a nap with your dog and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And that's all good. Is there a version of this that we can sort of do pandemic wise that really does meet some needs in ways that, because guess what? Everyone has a need to go out to a restaurant right now and enjoy a beer with their buddy and feel like life is normal. Sure, we all have that need, but can we do it? No. So what can we do? So it's constrained by what we can actually do, but that is effective. So for, somebody who thinks I'm just fine, like, first of all, how can you be just fine in a pandemic, right? If that's true, cool, good for you. But also probably not completely true. So maybe there is something, and it's taking a break. I know a lot of people are overworking this. This is an interesting push to like make yourself invaluable to whoever you work for, right? So you work extra hard. Then there's no limits of like when you're in the office or not. if you're working from home, right? And just people are burning themselves out. And so maybe if that's you stop and say, okay, what is my list of things I could do that or some self-care that, like, I think of it as just like nurturing your brain right now. And it's not to work until you pass out and are exhausted. Yeah. So maybe setting up a schedule, right? That's the most caring thing you can do for yourself, and follow it. Maybe it's a Skype or a Zoom book club with friends from the past, and you just organize it and you see really old faces from a long time ago. Like that, there is nothing that will bust your heart open wider. It's amazing. Or it's that you need to sit out on the porch with your wife and not redo the garden. You just need to enjoy the sun and the peace and the birds, or, you know, whatever. So let's brainstorm real quick. What are very simple, at home, obviously free. Well, I guess they don't have to be free, but things that are psychologically soothing and self-care kinds of things. What do you guys think?
Oh, geez. Well, you know what's funny? If I'm 100% mentally honest with why I'm doing those classes starting this weekend for the whole month, everyone's like, "Oh, Scott, that's such a great thing you and your daughter are doing to help the kids and to do the thing." And yeah, we are doing this to help, and we want to do something nice, and it's free and it's whatever. But a huge part of it, if I'm honest, is therapy for me. Like, this is a chance for me to just be creative and share ideas I haven't talked about since high school or college classes that I took for art. Things that I get to, you know, express in a teacher way instead of a learner's way, and then work with Carter and laugh a little, and then have these kids show their work, and we get to see what they've done, and that's all going to be catharsis for me. And so I feel like it's, you know, many birds, one stone here. But if I'm really, truly honest about this, that's where the idea came from. It was like, I need to do something where I can feel like I'm giving back more than I can, or that I have, or I'm usually able to, and do it in a way that's meaningful and can have an impact a little bit. And even if it's a small one, all of that is still true, but it's all still mostly for me. I know I'm trying not to sound selfish about it, but the experience is designed to bring me some just like good old fashioned,
nothing wrong with it being for you and the audience that you're trying to put it towards. I think that's
an
ideal situation.
I'm going to let you on a secret, guys. Everything we do is also for us and other people.
That's a dark secret. So like when I eat half a yellow cake, who am I doing that for?
You. and well, it's either for you, and then it can also be you and someone else. So, but everything in essence, even if it's dysfunctional and it's dangerous or self-sabotaging, there's something we get out of a lot of things. Rarely can a human be found who does something for not even just purely the right reasons or something, or like it can't be neutral. It's impossible because that's just who we are. Yeah. So of course it serves you, but also like what a blast, right? Yeah. Like my kids will all be there. I will be there. I'm taking it. Because,
ooh, you're going to draw. Sweet. I'm excited to hear that.
Tina's even going to be there.
Whoa, that's awesome.
Great. It's going to be great. And so that's perfect, because what it does is there is a psychological benefit to you, because creativity is a great bath for your brain, right? It's a great thing to do. And then you get to help, spread that around. That's awesome. That's a great example. Perfect. All right, Brian, what do you got? What are you doing?
Nothing that good and nice to the community.
That's not true.
No, I'm I'm kind of in the same boat of like wanting to be outside more, watching people walk down the path. Tina and I get in this rut of working until 5, come upstairs, we cook dinner, we turn on the TV, we sit at the kitchen table, listen to the TV, watch the news while we're eating. But I do want to do more of like just sitting out on our porch where there's no TV and just kind of, I don't know, have our dinner out there, watch people go walk down the path, and kind of have this nice little fresh air moment, especially with the weather being so good lately. Yeah.
It is good nice though. I'd say that's true.
It's very good nice.
It's very good nice.
It is good nice. So,
but also Brian's being humble here. He's working on this MS bike ride thing, which I know he was going to do anyway, but this is a big deal that you're doing that in these conditions. You're working up for it. Like, I think that's another great example of doing good in the world, a thing you can still do. They're going to keep that thing nice and safe, assuming it happens.
And if they don't, I mean, we're going to do it ourselves. Basically,
Right.
the fundraiser's still going on, but we're going to do the race on our own path with the same number of miles if there's no full organized race. And we're actually, I wasn't even sure I was going to bring this up, but we lost one of the members of our team who had MS, who contracted coronavirus, lost him yesterday, or at least they took him off of life support yesterday. I didn't get the final update, but I think he's probably passed by now. But we're kind of doing the race for him now. His name is Scott, and he had MS, and then contracted coronavirus from his work at the local phone company, and so we're doing the race. No matter what, we're doing the race for him.
Oh man, that's sad. I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah. In the years that I've been doing the ride, he had already stopped doing the ride because MS had kind of overtaken his ability to do it. He was more just kind of like showing up at the ending events and cheering us on from the sidelines, that sort of thing. So
yeah.
So I hadn't had a chance to meet him more than once or twice, but just know that he was a very, he'd been doing this thing for a long time since long before I joined in the past 3 years.
I assume that's one of those things considered to be a pretty hardcore underlying
a big time compromised immune system. Yeah, MS is tough. And so my aunt, of course, this really hit hard with her, not only because she knew him better than I did. She's been doing the ride for a lot longer and knows him, knows his wife, all that sort of thing. And so this really hit hard because she's got MS and so obviously she's a major concern for all of us right now.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty serious stuff. Well, see, that's a really cool thing. And I think it's it obviously goes well beyond COVID. And into other things. So, but again,
anyway,
part of that's for you, part of that's for them.
Right.
Same thing.
Yeah. And it's this sort of finding what you can do when, lots of things are limited. And that's a combination of creativity, obviously, to come up with stuff or, make what you're already doing viable virtually or viable in practice somehow. And that's huge. That's awesome. Okay, so I'm going to give one that's very a little less noble than both of you. But like tonight, so today is a holiday in Sweden, and it's not a holiday in the normal sense of things. It is, but it's amazing. And maybe I'm getting all this wrong, and Swedes will email me and tell me I'm wrong. But essentially it's like the beginning of summer, kind of spring, like spring ending. And there's some pagan reason for this historically. I'm not really sure what exactly that was, but it has to do with witches of some sort. Like the bad witches, you're scaring them away. And so you make these giant bonfires. And my guess is it's just to burn like your leaves that are left over from the fall or something. I don't know. But when we were there, we'd get invited to these parties where they just have, giant bonfires. So tonight we're gonna have a bonfire to scare the witches away, and cook our food over it. But we have this big metal. Our friend, remember Scott? You probably remember. He was a metal artist, and he. Oh yeah,
he did this. Their sculpture's been in my neighborhood that he made. He's awesome.
Yeah,
the
trophy guy. The guy who did the trophy.
Oh, different dude. That's
different metal guy. Okay.
Yeah. This one is when he took these helmets, World War II helmets, and he made them into turtles. And so you can find all around Salt Lake, people have these army helmets that are turtles that are awesome. Anyway, and he took the end of some giant machine. I don't even know what it was, some bomb head or something. I don't know what it is. And he put it on casters, and it's this giant rolling bonfire pit. So we always share it with our neighbors and roll it around. It's awesome. So we're just going to have a big bonfire, cook some marshmallows. No one's invited, but we're going to celebrate and scare the witches away. So summer will join us.
I like it.
So that's awesome.
Yeah.
So it's just a made up ritual now in our family, and we're blaming it on the Swedes, right? But like you can find anything to make an event or ritualize it a little bit.
Yeah.
That can make things feel a little different. So like I have a running joke with Abe is being much nicer. Pandemic is weirdly very good for a 14-year-old boy. I'm very confused by this, but he is like so nice now.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's been great. And so we just have rituals of like when he finally drags himself upstairs to have lunch or whatever. And I say, how's school? Good, right. We check in and then I do this fake I'm mad at you voice, and then I get his attention, and then I hug him and tell him he's great. And it's just this joke because I don't have to get mad at him anymore, but I don't want him to forget the voice.
Right. Right.
So it's just a stupid running ritual. And that may sound like, well, what is that supposed to be doing for my mental health? Well, it's funny. Okay, it's funny to us. And it's something we do now where and that's true of all sort of stability for especially families is we do a thing. Together we make this thing. We do this thing. On Fridays we do this thing. It's maybe creating a little more of those that are simple. But we always go on a walk on Saturday. We have pancakes on Sunday morning or whatever it might be. That may be a thing you can implement that can be a form of grounding and some self-care. So these are a couple options. Obviously, a hot bath and a bowl of popcorn still work, but like what you need to do each individually, maybe because of your family circumstances, or it may be that you just need to regularly call people that you haven't had the time to call before, and that's going to do wonders for them and for you. So my homework to everyone is to find a couple things and do them, because enduring and hoping this is all going to magically be over is this is tricky. And I think people are running out of their expectations were set for May 1st. And we're hitting that with 60,000 dead in the United States. And that's, some models showed that that's what the fear was at the end of the summer.
Yeah.
But that's where we are now.
Yeah.
So, we've got to figure out how to alter our expectations a little bit, but also like ground ourselves in the life that we currently do have and absorb some of those good moments.
What's tricky is it's weirdly slow and fast at the same time, right? Yeah. So on the one hand, all these factors, you can't see it. You have to trust in people, and that is people around you, people in authority. And then there are bad actors and all of that who are going to tell you other things. So you have to try to decide who's telling you the right thing and who's not telling you the right thing. You can't see it. It's slow in terms of it's going away, but it's sure fast as it's ripping through society. And it does not give two craps who you are, who you voted for, where you work. It doesn't care. It just doesn't freaking care. And you can try all you want to align the story and the narrative to the side you want to be on, or whatever your narrative is, but it still just doesn't give a crap. And I think this is why it feels so unique and new to so many people, because for 100 years we haven't had this, not this level. And people say, wow, flu kills this many people a year, but it doesn't kill that many people in a month. Okay. It doesn't take out 60,000 people in a month. And that sort of thing spreads over time. And it's just different. It just is freaking different. And so everyone's trying to wrap their head around it and say, well, no, it's not different, but no, it is different. And then, well, is it or isn't it? And you start getting all the philosophical questions in your head, and it just is complicated. And
there's a great example. Oh, so go ahead, Brian.
Oh, I was just going to say, I love how John Oliver described the flu versus corona. He said, it's like comparing Jeffrey Dahmer to O.J. Simpson. Yeah, not saying that O.J. Simpson is good, but he didn't even do enough to fill Jeffrey Dahmer's vegetable tray.
Right. That's one way of putting it, I suppose.
That is so cool.
I like the whole, imagine going, what's it like? All right, you go to a movie and you have normal numbers of people, and so you have enough bathrooms to deal with it when everyone gets out of the movie. But if you suddenly triple, quadruple the size of people available to see your movie, you're going to run out of stalls in the bathroom, and you're going to have some problems. Like, you're just going to overwhelm the system. That's just
people
it.
really need to play some Roller Coaster Tycoon to understand.
Yeah, dude, that's actually not a bad idea. There's
that should be the training.
There are good logistics lessons in that thing that actually might help some people. It's not a bad suggestion, but yeah, I guess I say all that just because we're talking about this phase, and this phase is just aggravating because you can't see it.
And it is aggravating, and I think there's a big. I'm sorry to harp on this point, but I just crave someone who's an adult being in charge and making everyone feel better. Like, why
Sure.
can't that exist? Because there's interesting history with smallpox, right? So if anyone's, born and still alive in their 70s, 80s, depending on where they lived in the country, they probably still have a scar of where they got their smallpox vaccination. And there's these two stories, one in Milwaukee where the government, essentially the governor, I don't know who made this decision, but it was essentially that the rich were allowed to quarantine at home.
Yeah.
And if you were poor, you were round up and like arrested.
Yeah.
And forced to do certain things. And nobody likes to be forced to do anything. And inequity is a very, so as much as Americans don't want to be bossed around, we also don't want things to be unfair. Like at our core, that's another one of our values.
Right.
And so it was a nightmare. Like that, first of all, the death rate, the transmission rate, problem after problem. The thing was a living nightmare. And then you can look at other parts of the country that handled it very differently. New York City being a good example of no one got any privilege. And people had to wait hours and hours and hours in line to get their smallpox vaccination. Didn't matter if you were rich or poor, because the system served everyone equally. And they've even found people, who they're proudly showing their scars and talking about them standing in line to get that because they felt like it was their duty and it was a gift to be helping other people and themselves, and they were in it together. That, like, the golden hour was captured.
Mm-hmm.
And it's frustrating. And wherever you may live, you're going to have a governor saying one thing and you might feel differently, or you may be feeling like this needs to be over. And the governor's like, nope. And I mean, we're going to see what happens, because Japan opened cities too quickly, and man, did they pay the price. And, Italy we have lessons we can learn other places. And Russia's behind us now. And so Russia, I don't know, they should be paying attention to us. Like this, we should be learning, but we'll see. I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, I mean, there are geographic differences and pollution or population differences aside, and those are some of those factors do make differences. I'm not denying that, but there are certainly lessons to be learned there, and you could argue they were lessons were happening in real time in February and March, and we were not paying attention or as much as we could have. And here's hoping we don't do anything really stupid. Just maybe a little less stupid. That's what I'd like.
That would be. Let's all vote for a little less stupid.
A little less stupid.
Yeah.
And
that should be somebody's, whatever Joe's doing. That needs to be his new.
Yeah, a little less stupid.
Campaign
Listen,
slogan. A little
that's
less
what we all
stupid.
think already. It's just a little less.
Just
stupid.
a little less stupid. That's great. Biden, it'll be like Biden, Warren, just a little less stupid, except Warren, who's really smart, or whoever he ends up picking.
Exactly. Whoever you pick is your ready mate. I forgot to mention this, and I completely forgot about this. Came back from a bike ride yesterday, and on this last stretch, I go through. When I get off the path, I go through this neighborhood that is it's an elderly neighborhood, not quite assisted living, but it's targeted
like
towards
retirement,
retirement neighborhood, exactly.
Yeah.
And I usually walk past 1,000 people who aren't wearing masks and all, walking down. This time, the street went right between a bunch of people who were kind of all in their driveways, all in chairs, and with little cardboard like lids, box lids in their laps. And then there was a person sitting at a table like they were selling lemonade, but they had like a thing of Mott's apple sauce, individual packets of Mott's apple sauce. I'm thinking, oh, maybe they're doing some sort of fundraiser thing. And then as I approach, I hear them say stuff like, I-19, and everybody looks down at their cardboard lids. So apparently, like, they divvied out bingo cards and were playing driveway bingo in this like 6-house radius around. Is the greatest thing ever.
That's pretty great. Yeah, I mean,
really cool. And they all had, a lot of them had masks on, so it was good to see.
That is good. Yesterday, I thought I was coming upon a massacre because Kim and I were out walking the dog, or just had left, and we noticed the park had a ton of people in it, and I went, "What is this fresh hell? What are you doing?" And I thought, "Oh no, some kind of protest," or I didn't know what it was. We get around the corner, and I notice, oh, they've all got masks on, and they're all standing 6 to 10 feet apart, and they all have dogs. And what it was is some local vet lady decided to just throw together an quickly planned, but let people know about it on Facebook or whatever, dog training thing out in this big yard or out in this big park, and everybody held to the standards, but they got to go out and train some of their dogs to be better dogs. And this lady sort of trained everybody. They all had masks on. It was nice. It was nice to see. You can you can do these things, man. It doesn't have to be just
awesome.
You curled up on a couch with Cheeto dust on your face. You can do more.
You can do that later too. You can do both. You can do both.
Why not both? All right. Well, Wendy, once again, we're right here in the moment when we need us the most, or we need you the most, I guess. Anything going on in your world you want to mention?
Real Steps. We're almost done with this round. We're going to do another round in August. So hopefully all of life is normal then, and you will be ready to do Real Steps. So we're going to do another round in August. So we're finishing up this last week, and it's been awesome. We have a really good group, and they're just so cool. And we've kind of been a little bit of a support group for pandemic life too. It's been good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So realsteps.org, go put your name on a list and we will send you information, and we're going to do another round in August. So that's what's going on.
That is awesome. Check it out, realsteps.org. Wendy Dunford, you're also, I've been telling people, I've been using your name on Twitter as I've been doing things, and people are like, wow, she's the smartest one here. And I'm like, why? And it goes, because she hasn't used Twitter in 700 and something days. That's amazing. And I'm like, well, she's the smart one. So
Listen, I will look at Twitter through my, the internet, not my account or whatever, every once in a while, because I'm like, I don't want anyone to find me.
Yeah.
No, just kidding.
I get it.
Because there's some very funny things there. I mean, it's a mixed bag, that place.
Yeah, it can be. But anyway, it's good having you on as always. Our best to the family, and it's nice to hear your 14-year-old is being kind.
I know, so nice.
Yeah.
All right, take care, guys.
See you
Thanks.
later. Bye now.
See ya.
All right. That was good. Good stuff today.
That was good. Yeah.
Hey, I got a quick reminder about that art class. I mentioned it earlier. It's this Saturday at frogpants.com/art class for all the details. The actual stream will be at frogpants.tv. We'll put it on YouTube after for people who are in weird hours. We totally get that, so don't worry about that. Carter and I will be there doing the curriculum we think is fun and cool and going to keep your kids entertained. It won't be boring. I can promise you that. And all you need is paper and pencils or crayons or whatever you got. It doesn't have to be anything fancy.
Something to write or draw with and something to draw on.
Yep. If you've got a tablet, great. That's cool too. We don't care. All the way. You can be a caveman with a piece of chalk and a wall. That's fine too. Whatever you got, we'll accept you. Also, a quick email from Allie who says, "Hey friends." Oh, Brian, she says we're friends.
Oh,
how does it make you
consider
feel?
Allie a friend too. I
Yeah.
don't know her, but
I don't know you either. But I feel like Allie could be an ally.
Oh,
Now, anyway, she says, "Hey friends, just wanted to give you a massive thank you for continuing the morning stream. I am a nurse currently working in a COVID unit, and it's been really tough on me emotionally. I haven't seen my family in weeks because I don't want to get them exposed. You all have been a bright spot during this truly dark time, and I just wanted to say thank you for giving me some laughs." Well, Allie, that is 100% our pleasure, and be careful out there. And so sorry to hear that you haven't been able to see your family, but I hope for you this is shorter than longer, and you get to be back with them soon.
And thank you for what you're doing.
Oh yeah, man. Like it's so easy. Yeah. It's so easy for people to go, we have to be careful, because some people are like, oh, the true heroes is that Uber Eats guy that just brought me my sandwich. And it's easy to say that and mean it, but it's also easy to make it seem romanticized or overly done, and I don't think they love that. They're doing a job that they have to do, that they will do, and that is hazardous. And it just needs to be the proper respect and not just us saying it. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know why I'm saying that or what to do to make it different, but I don't know.
Well, you're already doing it. You're leaving bottles of water that the UPS guy can wash his hands with and then put back. Yeah. So you guys are doing that.
Because there are people who are just sitting around going, oh, those brave, but they're really not. What are those words called when you just say platitudes? They're just platitudes.
I mean, I think the frontline healthcare workers are being brave because they're
100%
potentially exposing themselves to the same thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the Uber Eats driver, he's probably not as put in danger as the
probably not. But my point is, those who are talking about any of them if you mean it, I don't know what you can do. I'm at a loss sometimes what to do to say thanks to these people
Just tip them well. It's all you got to do. Just tip them. Give them good tips.
All right.
There you go.
All right. That's it for today's show.
Tip your server.
Thanks for being here. We do not have a PM tomorrow, but we do have a play date tomorrow. That's Friday at 1 p.m. That'll be a 2-hour play date, 1 to 3. Is that 2 hours? Yeah, 1 to 3. 1 to 3. We'll be playing Jackbox games with you, the listeners, and patrons, as well as just regular old folks. So come on over here to the live channel and check us out. That'll be tomorrow, twitch.tv/frogpants. For everything else you're looking for, or the reasons why we're able to do that stuff, go to patreon.com/TMS. Your support is much needed at this time. Thank you for it. And if you haven't done it, consider it. It doesn't take much to kind of get us where we need to be. So patreon.com/TMS. Find all the details there. For everything else, you'll find us at frogpants.com/ you guessed it, TMS. All right. That's going to do it for us. We should play a song. Do you have one?
I have one. Keaton wrote in and said, "Hey there, scrumptious and bodacious. I'm requesting a song in honor of my 27th birthday on May 1st.